My name is Robert. I'm originally from Holland. I left Holland quite a while ago, in 1980, to go and travel around the world and in different countries. So in all, I've worked in more than 10 countries. And my job was to be a trader in a bank, and I grew up on trading floors and ultimately ended up as a CEO of an investment bank in the United States. For those 20 or 30 years that I worked in a Wall Street type of environment, I was largely driven by only one motive: how to make as much money as possible. And that was my only goal. There's one big sign that says the money God, and I prayed to that.
Right.
And my belief was that if I would get financially independent, then I would be happy and I would be ultimately free, which was my biggest dream, to be free so that I could do whatever I wanted. And I thought it would come through money. So over those years, I accumulated more and more toys. So I got more homes, got more zeros in my bank account, got more cars, more boats, more toys, you name it. And people would look at me and think, okay, well, this man has made it. He's got everything they ever wanted. So he must be happy. And the reality was that while on this outer journey I collected more and more things outside, inside there was just emptiness and no happiness. And I found that it's like reaching the finish line, and you pass the finish line because you achieved everything you ever dreamed of, and then you find there's nothing there. So I went through a very bad period for a while personally. So I resigned from this life on Wall Street, and I was looking for answers to this question of why is it that I'm not happy inside. And I looked for inspiration in many books as I grew up reading from a young age. So I looked in philosophy, in Greek philosophy, in different religions, in contemporary writers. But the more I read and the more ideas I saw, the more and more I got this feeling that that's not where the answer was. We've been looking and writing and thinking and talking for 3,000 years, but if you go to the bookstore and you go to the self-help department, then it's like looking at cereal boxes. There are more books about self-help than probably about any other topic. And I think the reason is because we haven't found the answer by reading. So then I came to the conclusion that I had to find a different path. And that path for me meant that the answer had to be experienced rather than to be understood. And this, for like me, growing up in a Western world, is a huge jump, or like in Zen they say, a gate you have to go through. So I grew up in a philosophy which is, for those of you familiar with Western thinking, which is like Descartes, which is a basis of science today, saying cogito ergo sum. So I think, thus I am. And that is perceived in the Western world as the great value of the West, which has given us all this scientific progress. So at the end of the day, by looking for an experience that the truth had to be experienced, I connected to Zen, because Zen was something that told me and gave me insight into this experience by saying you have to find it inside yourself. So ultimately, on this long journey that I've gone through, I'm now more on an inward journey, trying to find the answers inside myself. And with that, I would say I started by saying, so my professional career started by saying, my dream is to be free through financial independence. I would say now, my freedom comes through inner dependence. So I look inside myself to find freedom. And I have to overcome inner limitations rather than outer limitations to find happiness. So that's what Zen means for me today.